Hello, everybody. Hello. Let's refresh the chat or go to Facebook or YouTube so I can see the chats that come through. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As you join in and start watching, say hi and let us know who you are and where you're from, and that will just let us know who you are and where you're from. so we're not all strangers.
Says nobody.
So, okay.
Should I refresh?
Yeah, go ahead and refresh the chat. I'm gonna get set up here with everything.
Oh, there
Hey, hello. Hello, everybody. We were worried because we were actually on time today. People probably aren't used to us being on time. I was ahead of the game today and I got myself set up. So let's go to the direct view here so you guys can see what we're doing here because you really don't want to see our faces. Okay. So we are going to be making this Tutti Frutti bracelet. I think it's so much fun. It's so like frilly and fun, and it drapes really well. So if you wanted to do a necklace, it'd be a really cool idea for a necklace. I'm going to refresh the chat here and just see if I can get the chats coming through over here. So many different screens. So for the Tutti Frutti, it's a bracelet that I created from, good morning, Southern, good morning. Oh, it's morning someplace, I'm sure. Southern California, yeah. Stormy PA. Yeah, I live in PA too, and it's been really, really stormy. The other night I had, was it like, I think they call it heat lightning, but it's just continual lightning flashes in the distance. Yeah, it was mesmerizing. It was so beautiful. For those of you guys just joining, Tutti Frutti is what we're going to be doing because it's very fruity and colorful and frilly and fluffy. So one of these designs that you can adapt using some different beads, whatever you have. Can you move the front? Oh, Jenny, why don't you just slide over? Here, let me go in here and move the front camera too. Johnner. Oops, there we go. Now, Jenny. Now you can't hide, Jenny. Yeah, and I can move a little bit. Watch me hide. So for the Tutti Frutti, Iceland, oh wow. Fewer notification, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but somebody else who's watching probably can do something about that. Hi, Iceland. Ooh, Iceland. Okay, so Tutti Frutti, what you're going to need today if you're going to bead along with us or watch it later, we have a variety of seed beads and some 4mm beads and some melons. So for the seed beads, I have this Opaque Glazed Shamrock. It's like kind of matte. And then I also have the Opaque Glazed Rainbow. So many abbreviations on there.
Oh, are these Miyuki's?
It's Fur Op Glur. That's what it is.
Yellow.
If you're, yeah, and then yellow is spelled out. So you know it's yellow. But Fur Op Gul Herb Yellow is the color I'm using.
And you said Miyuki's?
Yeah, these are all Miyuki's, but you can use Toho's if you want, and some red luster. So I have a mixture of some glazed mattes and some really shiny ones to kind of pop. The shiny will pop a lot more if you're using like other matted finishes along with it. And then I also have some 4mm beads. This coral color is really fun for summer because it's a nice bright pop. And then I also have, I love the crystals in this opal color. This opal color. Yeah. What's behind me? Is there something behind me?
Which
just stand here.
It might be. Is it this?
Oh, I don't know. It's gone now. Was that weird? Did you see
Oh, maybe
that?
Amber moved it. Amber must have moved it.
It was a phantom something.
I did.
A phantom something appeared behind me. Okay. It's like all those stories people say here, talk about, like, I saw a ghost. Or like, there was something right behind me. I saw it there.
I think it must have been that paper.
It must have been the paper. Okay. So we've got a variety of seed beads here, and these are these Opal-y 4mm, they're just called green opal, and they're 4mm crystal bicones. They're really nice because they have almost like I don't want to say like a cat's eye look, because it doesn't have quite that much of a, like a shimmer to it, but it has a really nice look to it.
Mm-hmm.
A little like fiber optic kind of something going on. And then the melons, so you want something larger. Where the orange, so the orange beads, the coral beads were in a previous box. Most of these items, other than the seed beads you might have had in different colors, I haven't put these two colors specifically in a box, but you can make this with a lot of the items that you received in past best bead boxes. So these you just got if you subscribe, these you got a little while ago. And if you don't get the box, you in your stash, you probably have a variety of seed beads, some 4 3mm beads, and some larger beads. So you just want something to stand out and be that focal for the melon, and then some smaller beads.
Somebody said it looks like sherbet.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the coral popping against the greens.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it just gives you a really nice, like, summer sherbet, kind of look. So to begin, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a stop bead here. And are you beading along with me in the same colors, Jenni?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have your own little mat to the side today?
I probably should, but I think I'll be alright.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I feel like we're...
Look, I found these in a bag. Some loosies.
Some loosey-goosies. I feel like we can share. Like, we're not like... Here, let me move this down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. A lady was behind you.
I saw that too.
Let's see if the orange was here. Which BOC for the orange? So these beads are, they're actually opaque coral, I think is the actual color name for those. And if we're out of them for any reason online, we do have some more I can add to inventory, but last I checked, I think we're pretty good on those. So the first thing I'm going to do with we are family, we can share. Families have a hard time sharing that sometimes. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create basically like my spine of the bracelet. So I'll start with the stop bead, and then I'm going to start with a melon bead. And we have a lot more melons off screen. Some words just make you giggle. Sorry. I'm always surprised that they invite me back for these lives. In the Painted Desert box, so the coral were actually on the Painted Desert bracelet. The color is like so fun, like popping against blues and greens, and you don't have to use a lot of it. Just one bead creates a really nice pop sensation. Are the seed beads all 11s? Yeah. So these beads are all 11s that are in the different colors, and then I have a 15-0 that I'm going to use just at the end of these little fringes here. So the 15-0, which I forgot to put out here. I just have a lab full seed bead here. You can use silver, you can use gold, you can use a green, whatever you have. But I use lab full, and you're going to see enough of it, it'll just create a nice little pop of shimmer at the end there. So I'm going to pick up my melon, and then what I'm going to do is just pick up however many 11-O's you want until you get to the next melon. So you want to pick up enough 11-O's that it will provide you with enough space to do a whole bunch of fringes. So I'm going to come back and do the fringe after I pick up all the melons and 11-O seed beads that I need to get the whole length of the bracelet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, do you use the green one there?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a melon, and then I'm not even really counting the number of seed beads. I'm just doing a bunch and then thinking about maybe like how many inches it is.
Okay.
So you can see I'm just going to pick up a group of seed beads. And the one melon at the very end here, I actually am using that for my clasp. So if you want to start with the melon that you're going to use for clasp, I would go ahead and just start with that. And then the way that I'm clasping it is just using that as like a little ball clasp at the end. And you can of course add a different clasp to it. But I always like being able to make a clasp, because then if you have the option of making a clasp, or if you know how to make a clasp, if you run out of hardware but you have tons of beads, you're never in a jam.
Yeah, and it's going to match.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to match. It's going to just blend right into the rest of your project. So I love that option. But then a lot of times you also want something like pretty clasp garden clasp, or one of those Potomac's clasps that you can put a Rivoli in, and you can do something really, flashy with that. So those are my two favorite options. So as I add the melons, what I'm going to do is also add the 11-O's that go around the melons. And you don't have to do this, but I love adding that pop of that red around them, because then it really enhances and draws more attention to them. As I was making this, it reminded me of, like the folk art paintings that, like the Scandinavian paintings and the like native dress of,
like the ones they have some like embroidered dresses?
Yeah, like the embroidery, or my grandma and grandfather, like Norwegian and German background, so you would always have like those paintings, like it would be plates, or you would have even just like the bellows, the smoke things, yeah, and they would have just the paintings on them. Somebody else knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, but that's what it reminds me of, like those bright, fun colors and kind of wispy, like, yeah. So I think, I don't even know, I forget how many 11-O's I needed. Well, let's learn together. I'm going to pick up 9 because in my memory, something in my memory is telling me 9. Yeah. So while I'm still working on this, before I add any more beads or any more of my green beads to the other side of my melon, I'm going to pick up,
maybe more.
Let's do 11.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Let's say 11, yeah. Let's pick up 11 red, or whatever color you want to outline your big bead with.
Jean said something I was thinking too, Pennsylvania Dutch folk art.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Same thing, yeah. Okay, so 11 seems to not be right either. Let's do 10.
Oh, is that too many?
It seemed like a little floppy. Like it didn't seem like it's not quite right.
Sure. How about I count it?
Maybe it was right with 9. Maybe it just didn't look right.
Yeah, you have 9.
Oh, I do. Okay.
But then probably
Should
because
trust
of the
my
ones
instincts.
you added after, fill in the space in the middle. So
Oh,
that's probably
yeah.
why.
Yeah. So 9 beads will fit really well if you're using that same bead that I am, this 8mm melon. And I like the melons because they have those grooves in them.
Yeah.
So if you get the 11-O seed beads sitting in a groove and give it a nice tight pull, then it's not really going to flop around that much.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it might still flop around a little bit, but
Even so, they're
not
really
so
pretty.
much. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't really bother me a whole lot.
Gives it interest with the
So I'm doing 2 sets of 9 beads, and I'm just looping them around the melons and taking my thread back through the melon and pulling tight just to get it nice, tight, close so I don't have any slack. And if you kind of push it in one of the grooves of the melons, it'll help hold it in place. And then I'm going to continue and just pick up however many seed beads to get me the length of space that I want from one melon to the next. And that will be basically determined by, you can see here I have one melon, I have another, so I need all this space in between here, just a row of seed beads. And I'm going to come in and fill in with the fluff and all the embellishment later. I like to set the melons at various distances apart because it just creates a more organic look. You know, I don't want to count my seed beads and then, okay, I need to have exactly 23 in between each one.
Too symmetrical.
Yeah, exactly, too symmetrical. So let me put a couple melons here kind of close together. Perhaps a right angled chain till you get the fruit if for a necklace. Maybe I sometimes I come in the middle of people's conversations and I don't quite. Perhaps a right angled chain till you get to the fruit.
Like a right angle weave.
Gotcha. Sorry, I sometimes a little slow on the uptake. Buttons make nice clasps. Yeah, I like having buttons available too. But yeah, you can also, if you want to do a necklace and you want to make it like more substantial, yeah, do a little right angle weave chain, and then that'll add a little bit more heft to it. Yeah, in between each one, or in between each of your melons.
Like the orange blossom necklace?
Yeah.
Was that right angle weave?
I think she did right angle weave in the back, yeah. That was kind of a collaboration. I did the front section, and I think Allie, well, we kind of collaborated on the back, but how to finish the back, yeah. Hello, Anna and Jenni. Looks like someone's got caps lock on. Hello. Hello, Skeeter. Do the melon beads come in a light peachy color? Ironically, I don't think we have the melons in a melon color. We do. We have them in, I want to say an orange, but not, I don't know that we have them in a very light peachy color. But I'm sure that they make them.
And then if you go to like a light peachy 11, you could use one of these pink ones.
Yeah, exactly. You could always sort of enhance the color one way or the other.
Here's that.
Well, that would be really pretty. Yeah, that's pretty with the rest of these colors
Duracoat
in here.
Opaque Tea Rose.
That's a nice one. Tea roses are popular, I guess, in Japan.
Oh, I thought you meant our seed beads.
No, I mean, it's funny what the seed beads are named, because sometimes I think, oh, they must be naming it this because they think that's what people like.
That's pretty true.
Rose mailing or mailing? I know that. What is that? What is that, Chris? Rose mailing. I'm probably not saying it right. Rose mailing. That's what it looks like, but maybe I just can't read it.
I know that's
rose
like mailing art.
Yeah, I know there's like a name, obviously, for that kind of like folk art design. So I get quite a few seed beads here. I'm gonna grab a melon. These are my favorite kinds of melons. I don't eat melons.
Oh, I know. I'm not real into it either.
Watermelons are okay, but as far as like honeydew and stuff and cantaloupe, And it's...
Somebody asked what this project is called.
Oh, Tutti Frutti. Yeah, we called it Tutti Frutti, and here is, if you haven't, if you didn't see the intro, Tutti Frutti. I don't know why I just did that.
Yes, I like it.
I'm embarrassing myself. Because it is kind of Tutti Frutti. It's like if you just, grab all the things, grab all the fruit, and string it.
Yeah.
You could do this also in good colors for Christmas, so it would be like a garland.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah, you did, well, it's already got some greens, but switch out some of the brighter colors for maybe some snowy colors, stick with like the reds, do like it'd be a nice garland.
Like some little gold.
Yeah.
Some clear crystals to look like ice.
Ooh, very nice. So we will be back in 3 months doing the same project with different colors and calling it something else.
Don't give away our secrets.
The icy instead of Tutti Frutti.
Tutti Frutti.
The icy fruity bracelet. I don't know. Rose.
Still with that, looking at that one.
Rose Malling? Rose Malling? It's not you, Chris, it's me. I can't read it because it's so far away. I'm having a hard time deciphering the letters. Is it mailing or mauling? Or
It's hard to see on that background. I think it's mauling.
Okay. Maybe
She's probably screaming.
She's screaming at it. That's not what it is. Maybe you could do like the dictionary, like a little pronunciation guide for us. That sounds familiar though. It looks like a mixture of spring and summer. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of, these aren't typically like well, I don't know that I have typical colors. Oh, you're getting ahead, Jenny.
I'm not gonna, just because I decided to make earrings instead of a necklace.
Oh, that's right, because you're doing earrings.
I'll put some gold on there.
Oh. So this is kind of the boring part where I'm just stringing and stringing and stringing.
Do you, while you're doing this part, do you make sure to leave a little bit of space in between the
well, I don't pull it
give?
super tight. Yeah, I don't pull it super tight, so that's a good, yeah, that's actually a really good thing to mention. I don't worry too much about it because I'll have plenty of give, but you don't have to pull it really, really tight because we're going to come back through and come up through these seed beads.
Yeah, that's what the problem I always run into is that I pull it real tight without thinking
about
ahead that the thread's going to pop back out
and you're not going to have enough room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually did this a bunch of different ways. It seems like a simple design, but there's multiple ways that you can do it because you can add the little fringes as you go, or you could, there's multiple different ways that you can add them or create them, and this was just the simplest way that made it look the nicest.
And if you want to give up, you have a little bit of everything done. I just mean because if you go buck wild at the beginning and you have a whole bunch of fringe, you're going to have to continue that the whole length.
Yeah.
But if you add come and go, you can stop when you want. Not just giving up, but the amount of fringe that you want.
This is the lazy person's project.
Jenny's projects.
Give up whenever you want to. Traditional folk painting from Norway. Yeah, that's what I'm more familiar with. Because, yeah, we have those, like, folk, Norwegian folk paintings. So is this long enough? That's probably long enough. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Yeah, a little bit longer. And I'm using that last melon as a clasp. So I didn't add any of my red seed beads around that, just so that I had, so they wouldn't get in the way, because you don't want to have to, I just didn't think
Clasp
it would
over
be.
it?
Yeah, I don't want to clasp over it. Yeah, you got it. So I'm going to put another melon on here. So I have some of them pretty close together, and then I have this big gap in here. So really just,
I like it.
just kind of, yeah, random. And then at the other end here, I'm going to make myself a loop of seed beads to be my toggle. You can embellish a toggle. I'm just going to do a loop of seed beads, but if you want to, you can do a little picot trim on the toggle as well. Picot. Yeah, Pico de Gallo trim.
Don't stab me, Kay.
What'd you say?
Don't stab me, Kay.
I don't know what that's from.
Oh, no, just because your needle's coming at me.
Oh! I thought it was something related to Pico de Gallo, and I was like, I didn't see that movie. I always think it's a, yeah, actually, you're on my dangerous side.
I am.
We were trying to figure out what sides to sit on. It's
This
like,
is
well,
the dangerous side.
yeah, how resilient are you feeling today?
Well, say.
How lucky. How many Buck Wild is the technique for the project similar to coral stitch? Yeah, it's similar. I don't know that I've done coral stitch, calling it coral stitch, but I have seen it, and I actually, yeah, I do a variety of different little fringes in here. So let's see, how many YouTube live do you do in a week? We do, well, so Jenni and I actually only do one every, or do 2 a month, or yeah, 2 a month is plenty for our viewing audience. So we do, together we only do 2. We do the unboxing, and then we also do a live tutorial. But YouTube, or PotomacBeads, though, we do twice a week. Well, we do a bunch of things, because we do the YouTube lives, Allie does Twitch, and then Teresa does some. So actually, if you go to PotomacBeads YouTube and you look at our schedule at the top, you can see everything there. Because I'm sure I will miss something. But we're on quite a bit, because we do Twitch and YouTube lives a couple times a week. So I'm going to make a loop here at the end. And before I finish it, I want to make sure, or before I go back through my melon, I want to make sure that it's going to be long enough that I'm able to clasp. I'm basically making like a little toggle sort of, or not a toggle, what would you call that? Like a button. Yeah, it's just like a button clasp where you make a loop that just captures your button. But you just want to make it for the melon that you have on the opposite end of the bracelet. So I'm going to go back through my melon here and just hold this tight and make sure that that's comfortable. Yeah. So that's comfortable, and that I think will make a nice little clasp. So now I can start going back through and adding my fringes. So I did a couple different types of fringe, and the idea is really to just have fun with it and make little clusters of beads that are going to be fringy and fall off. We actually have a fluff fringe or something.
Seed bead fluff bracelet, or
seed bead fluff bracelet, something like that we used to do. Hi Anna, hi everyone. What do you like better, Thread Zap 1 or the Thread Zapper 2?
I like the 2.
You like the 2?
I think it's the 2. Yeah.
What do we have sitting around here?
Oh yeah, what does it
I don't
say?
like the retractable one.
No, I don't either.
Not keen on that one. But the Thread Zap 2 is the one that we use. I think that's the only one that we've carried.
The basic gray one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
one the most.
So to start the fringe, I'm going to go through, after I come out of my melon, I'm going to go through maybe a couple of my green beads here, because I don't want to do the fringe super close to the base of the melon, just to give it some room to breathe. And then the first kind of fringe, or one of the kinds of fringe that I am doing here, is with my little Bicones here. So what I'm doing with those, if you can see here, is I'm just coming out and I'm making them progressively longer and then shorter as I go between melons. So coming out of my base here, or my spine of the bracelet, I'm going to start off by just picking up 2 of my seed beads, my green seed beads, picking up a bicone, and then I need a little 15-0 here for the end just to hold everything together. And I'm going to go through, or pass all those beads down, and then skipping that 15-0 so that holds everything together. I'm going to go back through the bicone and my 2 seed beads and give that a pull. And then I'm going to go through the spine of my bracelet, down just one bracelet, or one bracelet, one bead. And then I'm going to pick up, make my next fringe, but I'm going to pick up 3 of my seed beads. So I'm going to make it just one seed bead longer than the previous fringe.
PotomacBeads asked what stitch we're doing, but does it really...
Are we doing a stitch?
I don't think so. Unless somebody said, is the coral stitch a technical word for what we're doing?
Fringe? I guess you would say fringe, really.
Technique?
Yeah, it's a technique because it's not like a repetitive stitch like peyote or anything like that. So really it's really a lesson in fringe. It's a lesson in fringe.
A study in fringe.
A study in fringe. So I went down through one of my seed beads on my spine. I'm picking up 4 seed beads, 1 of my bicones, my 15 for the end, and go back through all those beads except for the 15, of course, at the end. And pull tight, and through the next, and down my spine just by 1 more bead. My spine. I have to think of clever words for things because, or I shouldn't even say clever, it's not that clever, but
I think it is different.
Because when you're trying to teach, you can't just say, go through the beads. Like, everything's a bead.
Especially with this.
I know, everything's bead, so yeah, it's like, I can't tell you how many times people ask me, do you have any boxes, or did you see the box, or something about a box. I'm like, well, what kind of box? So I did 4, so I picked up 4 seed beads here on this fringe. So I'm going to work back down because I'm getting close to my next melon here, about halfway through. So I'm going to go back down to 3 11-0s. So I just progressively got a little bit longer, and then I'm going to progressively get a little bit shorter. And that just makes it a little fluffier if you have those lanes staggered. And you don't have to do exactly what I was doing. You can stagger the lanes so you don't have to make them a little bit longer and then shorter. Or shorter and longer. And so you're doing just a pair of earrings. I shouldn't say just a pair of earrings, but
That's
you're doing...
fine.
No, that's fine. So you're doing a pair of earrings.
You want to
Let's
see?
Yeah.
They're going crazy.
Ooh, I love that.
I put a
And
loop
what is
back on it.
that?
That's his leg to stand on.
Your earring doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Yes, it does.
No, yeah, no one could ever say that to you, Jenny.
So So I made
That's funny.
Yeah, just a little loop at the top. And no, I'm gonna embellish it.
Oh, okay. So you're doing the top and bottom. Oh, okay. Sorry, it just looked really funny.
It's like the stem, and I'm gonna put leaves at the bottom. Yeah. That would actually be cute.
Oh yeah, that would be really cute.
No, I'm going to embellish.
Coral stitch. Yeah, if you can look up coral stitch, it is kind of like doing the branching and the fringe, but and Allie actually has a number of videos on doing things like this with the fringe.
Yeah. Monet's Garden, huh? Yes.
Love the earrings. Yeah, earrings are great. So this is just a little cluster that I made between two of the melons that were really close together. And I like this, but I really love adding the color. So this is a pretty. Little, yeah, it's really cute. And you can go back through and you can do it again and you can make it fluffier if you want and add more. But I'm going to move on here and do the next section.
With all the colors, it screams, wear me to the beach.
Yeah. I would love to make this into a necklace and just have a really long necklace.
Well, that would be really pretty.
Yeah.
It would take a while.
It would. Yeah, and I love, I think I say this every time I'm on here, but I love projects that you can also use a lot of stash, like and do stash busters. You know, it's good to have this jumping off point and then know, you know, and have an idea, but then grab your stash and, you know, do, like, let's say you even have just like 3 or 5 of left of a color of a bead. Just make a little section that just has those mixed in, because it'll look very wild and natural, just like a garden, you know, where you have a little bit of, you know, there's little daisies popping up over here. They don't have any other place, but they're really nice.
And sometimes it's fun just looking at your stash to mix colors together to see if you like them. And then this is the way to just...
Yeah, just use them. Just use them like that. So for this next little section here, I'm going to add my coral beads. And I'm going to do the same thing with the green beads. I'm just going to start out with 1 and then pick up a coral. And I was adding these little yellow ones to the end. So I picked up a yellow, a silver, and a yellow. And let that be like my little, I don't know, what do you call that? My fringe or my little stop bead, whatever that, like...
Picot?
Yeah,
trim?
It's like a little picot trim, yeah. Can you call it a picot if it's on one bead? I guess you can.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah, so I picked up the yellow, the silver, the yellow, and then went through the coral beads just to let those 3 guys sit there on the end of the coral bead. And then back through my green bead. That was my little stem on this fringe. And continuing just through the next down 1 bead of my spine. And I'm going to, again, just make this progressively longer. So I'm going to do 2 beads this time. 2 green beads to make my little stem. And just keep adding this pattern on. I gotta go through my stash at home. My stash has become probably more than a stash at this point.
A bead store?
It's become, yeah, well, I mean, that's what the blessing and the curse of working in a place like this when you're creative and you like doing creative things. You're just almost like too much. I think that's my biggest problem is I can't narrow down what I want to work on because I have too many projects that I want to do. So I did get myself organized, and I have my cork boards with things hanging on them. But if I don't hold myself accountable, things will sit on my cork board for months and months.
Get more of these.
Oh yeah, let's get more of those. And you can definitely mix the different fringes together. So, like on some of the longer sections, I did multiple different kinds of fringe, and that gives it a little bit more of that wild look, so it looks more like in nature.
Shelley would like to know how many loops are in your seed bead. How many
Yes.
11s are in your loop?
It's a good question. I actually didn't count.
Oh.
I do things on the fly, but that's not really great for teaching, is it?
Not for the class.
Just pick up some beads. Just pick up some beads and do it.
Oh, do you want me to count it on the original one?
Oh yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Although,
you don't have to watch me count.
And you don't know if that one's gonna fit.
Oh no, this one is.
Oh, it does.
I did. Oh, ye of little faith. You don't know if your clasp is gonna fit. No,
You just didn't keep count.
I just didn't keep count. No, but I did
measure.
test it. Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
This is tricky because you get the trim on it.
So if you use the same exact bead that I did, then yeah, this count will work for you. But if you do a different one, if you use a different kind of a bead or a different size bead, you'll just want to test out your clasp before you.
I think 26.
26? That sounds right. Because I think, was it 21 or 22 for like a cup button? Or no, 25 or 26 I think for a cup button. I mean, I should probably know.
But also if you put trim on it or turn it into a peyote toggle, then you'll need more.
Right, yeah, you're going to need more the more you work with it because it'll like cinch up on itself.
Learned that the hard way.
we learned that. I like the candy color of this. I think that's what it reminds me of. Maybe that's why I like it so much. Mm-hmm. The colors together, it reminds me of like candy and Play-Doh.
Yeah.
And like, being a kid. Just really fun. Is it already 1:45?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Are you kidding me?
I just looked that too.
Are you kidding me? I can't believe it. I feel like I've been doing this for 10 minutes. Does anybody else feel like that? Everyone else is like, no, it's felt like 45 minutes. We've been waiting for you to finish this bracelet. What a fun piece you are making. My only granddaughter would love this. Yeah, it's really fun. It's a great thing for kids. And it would be a great project to teach somebody who's young, who's interested in beading, because it's not the kind of thing where you have to keep count. So for those of you who do a lot of other kinds of beading, or any other kind of craft like knitting or crochet, you have to keep count, and sometimes that's annoying or it's difficult for people when you're just learning because you're like trying to just learn how to hold the materials, and then you're like, I gotta keep count too, and I lost count, and now I gotta undo my stitches. So this is a great project for someone who's also just learning how to bead, because it's just a matter of just picking up some beads and going through. Like fringe is really easy. You don't have to count. You can count if you want to for these little things to make them bigger and smaller, but you're counting in like 1, 2, 3. Like it's so easy. When it's a bigger than a stash, it becomes a hoard. Actually, I do have a hoard. And in addition to a hoard, I also have a hoard here at the store, because I have a little hoard by my desk, which is a stash. We'll call that a stash. And then I got some beads downstairs, so yeah. Squirreling it away everywhere. I haven't started renting storage units throughout town, but that's because I haven't ran out of room here. Every time you say melon, I laugh. I'm so immature. I laugh too. I laugh to myself too. Okay. Now you're opening a can of worms. I got hold of my tongue now. Okay. So the other kind of fringe, the third and final kind of fringe that I added to this was actually something that you did in a couple videos ago, a couple lives ago, where we were doing the key fob pendant,
Mm-hmm.
and you just did like a little group of 3. You just did like a little picot trim, and oops, I want to go down one more bead here just so it's not too close to my melon.
And I wasn't sure it would work, but it did.
Close to my melon, ha ha. I'm glad she said it. I think it every time. So just pick up 3 of a contrasting color seed bead, and then go back through the seed bead that you just went through, and that adds those 3 beads on top of that bead in your spine there, and it's just a little picot trim that you're adding.
It's adorable. Looks
Yeah.
like a little bud.
And yeah, and you can do this you can do a couple on the same bead and make it fuller. Yeah, I thought that was adorable when you did that.
Thanks.
So maybe I will also, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch it up a little bit because you have 3 when you do the picot. So I'm going to do a green, yellow, green. And then that will give me more green at the base and just give me a little touch of yellow hanging out
Like
on
that.
the edge. Yeah. Yeah, so you can be very clever about how you use colors. I think that's one of my favorite parts of design is
The challenge of colors. The color challenge.
the color challenge, and how you use the colors too, because a lot of times people think about what materials they're using, what beads they're using, but they don't give as much thought to how many colors am I using.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, seed beads and some 4mm beads, but I have 3 different colors of same size seed bead, and you do so much with just mixing up the colors. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something that's one of my favorite parts of doing any kind of design. And how do I use them? Because you can almost create like an optical illusion. If let's just say you do peyote stitch, and picture you've got a peyote stitch that starts out like really dark, and then you gradually get lighter. That's fun, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can do zigzags and stuff. But the use of color is really, really important. It changes the whole look of something. After the evacuations from some wildfires, my daughter has been making lists and plans in case we have to leave. I have so many beads. Are you making plans for the beads? You are great at color coordinating your pieces. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. But honestly, you only see the ones that work, so. But thank you. Oh, you're using scissors.
I shouldn't
You
have.
want the...
No, she must have taken it with her.
Oh, yeah. Allie was in here earlier and she left. I will sound old. I am. But never learned to work with beads while growing up in Mexico. I am too old to learn at 65. Oh, am I too old?
No.
Or 56, sorry, I made her older. Sometimes I'm a little dyslexic and I read that backwards.
Not too old.
No, not too old. It has nothing to do with how old you are. It has everything to do with, I would say, probably your dexterity and your willingness to learn. Yeah, if you like working with smaller materials like this, then I would absolutely say try it. And if you do any other kinds of crafts? Because if you do other kinds of crafts, then the kind of beading that you do, you may be able to find a type or a technique of beading that is similar to another craft that you do, and then it may be easier for you to pick that up. That would be heartbreaking.
Talking about 12
to
hours,
leave. Oh, yeah. And to have to leave your beads behind. I started at 65, yeah. Well, I won't tell you how old my mom is. She's not watching. I'm pretty sure she doesn't know how to find us on Facebook or on YouTube anyway, but she's starting to take up painting. She always used to enjoy art. She's a great artist, but she never did anything with it professionally. But now she's trying to get back into painting, and yeah, and she's in that ballpark of 65.
Here's my earring.
Oh, show everybody your earring. That's adorable, but I can't help but notice that you didn't want to use any of my coral beads.
I forgot, and then I saw them, and I was like, oh.
Are you sure you just hate them and you're just not telling me?
No.
But that would be kind of cute, like a little.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have it in the right spot. Now you've gone too far. Now you've gone past the point of no return. But that's adorable. It also kind of has the look of like a little bird or something. Very cute. No problem on the dyslexia. Yeah, I think my uncle actually like went to school for like people who had dyslexia. All my family secrets.
Oh, thank you, Linda. She said it's cute.
Aw. It is. It's adorable. You need to make a pair now. That's the only thing with earrings is if I don't enjoy making enough to make a pair, then would you end up with a bunch of little pendants?
Yeah. So, and when you go into it, think about maybe make them both at the same time so they're similar.
Yeah.
Look at these together for holiday.
Oh yeah. And I think you're kind of off the.
Oh.
It's okay. I'll just. Yeah, that'd be great for holiday. Ooh, we should make like a holly. Should do a holly one too, like a holly version.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
Yeah. So, do you want to read some of those comments there?
Jenny just started beading this year and just learned tubular peyote. That's fun.
Oh, tubular peyote is fun, yeah. I like things like that you kind of get on a roll and then you just do the same thing over and over again. And before you know it, 45 minutes has passed.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe we're... 56 minutes. I can't believe we're that far along already. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just adding more and more fringe to this. If you guys are not already on the Facebook group, join, because I would love to see what you guys make. This looks pretty close, yeah. So some of these I might go back and fill in, but see this now, I'll show you a quick little, we have a few more minutes. I'll give you a bonus tutorial.
Do you need this?
I do if that's good. So, oh,
are you okay?
I am. I thought maybe I knocked it. Okay. So here's a quick little bonus tutorial that hopefully will work while I do this live. With the holidays coming up, here's a great, what?
I'm gonna stab me again. What holiday?
6 months from now. And it's, with, the holidays, the time of year with all the holidays. With, for everybody of every denomination and creed and sect and religion and everything. There's a holiday for you in the winter. So I'm going to show you how to make, based on what we did in here, the kinds of fringes we did here, how to make a really cute little like topper for a present. So what we're going to do is start with just the seed beads. Just pick up
like an inch?
A length of seed beads. Yeah, inch and a half, however long you want to make it. You can make these a whole bunch of different sizes. And let me pick up one of your little gold ones here at the end. And we're going to go through one of my green seed beads here. And essentially, what we're going to do is this fringe that we did, where we start out small and we get bigger. So I'm going to do just one bead. And I need something tiny for the end, so I'll use the silver, but it would be prettier if I had the gold.
You want more? Right here.
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
That many?
Yeah, that works for now. I'm gonna need more. Let me do two. Let's do 2 seed beads to start out. And then go back up through. And what I'm doing is basically just picking up, just doing that fringe, but picking up one more every time I do it. So I had 2, I'm going to pick up 3, and hopefully this works the way that I want it to, because if not, I'll be embarrassed. If not, I'll have just embarrassed myself. So it's kind of hanging off to the side right now, but you can see that as I add more, and I really should actually skip in between. So I'm going to pick up, so I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I picked up too many. Okay, that's okay. We're going to go with it. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to go with it so you don't have to undo it. And then pick up another 4. So I'm going to do the mirror image on the other side. Pick up another one for
gold
the
one.
end, another gold one. Up through 1 bead of the center. And then I did 4, so I'm going to do 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A gold. And up through 1 of my center or spine beads. I'm going to do another 5, so I'm going to do mirror image on either side. So I'm going to pick up another set of 5. And another gold one for the end. My end's a little wonky. If I weren't doing this live, I would start over. And up through the center again. And then what I would do is continue this.
Are you making a branch?
Yeah, so it's a little branch.
Oh,
and
that's adorable.
you're gonna make it. I would actually have maybe made this a little skinnier at the end, but make it a little bigger and bring it out, and it's like a little branch. And you can make a couple of these and then put them together. Do a little bit, do 3, do 3. Where's that lady that thought melons were funny? Okay, so then I'm going to move these, but I'm going to do a couple more here just so that we get maybe a little bit more of the feel for it. I'm trying so hard to get fired. Not really. Not really. I don't want to get fired.
That's really cute.
Yeah, and it's really nice when you do it with wire, but I have thread, and it's super easy to do with thread. What kind of wire? Like a really thin wire. So you could do it with a really thin wire and twist it. Yeah, you would do a different. You wouldn't do it the same way, obviously.
Gotcha.
Because you wouldn't have like
be able to get back.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you can see the more I do it, the more it fills out. So at the tip here, and like I said, I kind of screwed up the tip because I forgot to mirror it on the other side. But you would start with mirroring it like just 1 or 2, and then do 3, 4, 5, and then when you get to like 5 or 6, however wide you want it to be, you can just kind of keep it like that for a while, and then branch it out a little bit more if you want. If you keep adding 1 to each length, it'll just kind of create a triangle. So you want to shape it by, so you just want to kind of shape it by keeping your little to your needles liking. Or branches, about the same for a little while, and then make it a little bit bigger.
So cute.
But yeah, it's just a really easy, simple thing to do.
You could add in another green to make it look variegated too if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could do a green mix. This is another great thing to do with some stash beads. Could you just grab like all the greens that you have, and then
like you were saying with the depth of colors.
Yeah, start with maybe do like a lighter one or a darker one in the center, and you can kind of variegate it. Yeah, and make it look real natural. Yeah.
Neat.
How do you learn how to bead so good?
Trial and error.
I just do it a lot. Yeah, and there are lots of people who are a lot better than I am. I'm just, I don't know. I just have the platform here. But there are a lot of great people who do a lot of amazing things. But this is just such a fun little easy thing to do.
You could do, and somebody mentioned harvest, autumn, holidays, and you could do that in reds and oranges and do like fall leaves.
Yeah. I mean, this is just such a great design for any color combination.
The melons would look like acorns.
Yeah, so I would not use,
pink.
I wouldn't use pink. I would either do red and like maybe smaller ones. These are a little bit big. Actually, they're really not, because if you do a few of these,
or pumpkins.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, lots of fun options, and these would also be great as earrings if you do these and then do stripes or like different colors. You just do a simple little pair of earrings like that. Maybe do a little drop or something at the end,
cute.
Or I don't know, but. So there you go, lots of ideas. Yeah, we're gonna have to head out here because it is after 2, and we got unfortunately we got other things to do today, right? They don't pay us just to do this all day. I requested to join. Do you think I should buy into the bead box? I have spent quite some money setting my workspace and books. Please advise. Well, you're asking the wrong girl, because I'm always going to tell you yes.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely give it a try, because you're going to get materials, you're going to get patterns. That's the word I'm trying to think of. You're going to get those things, those paper things. You're going to get patterns, and you're going to get a lot of stash beads. So at least, if you're a new beginner, if you're a beginner beader, you'll build up your stash very quickly. You'll get a bunch of patterns to get you started. And all the patterns, of course, you'll have the physical pattern in front of you, but then there's also the YouTube videos. So you can learn either way with that. You're not just getting... What?
You're also getting a really large sampling of beads instead of committing to the whole sizes, so you can see the sizes, the colors.
Yeah, that's shapes. A really good point, because you get half quantities or quarter quantities depending on what kind of bead it is. So you're not gonna, let's say we send you like this yellow and green bead in the best bead box, and you're like, I hate yellow and green. Then we're not sending you a whole tube. You can use it for something and play around with it. If you're not crazy about it, you don't have to buy it again. But let's say you're like, I love yellow and green. These are my favorite colors. Then you can get more easily online. So, and you're not testing out a whole tube of something and then you get it and you're like, yeah, it's not really what I wanted. It's a great way to sample things. And we do curate it. So Allie and I work on putting it together and picking colors and beads that you can use together. And I personally, I know I don't subscribe to it obviously because I make it, but I like getting things like that because if someone else is picking colors and designs for you, then it gives you the opportunity to use things that you may not have picked out for yourself, which is always very helpful for me because I will get in a rut and get, brown everything for a while. And then it finally takes someone to show me something and I'll say, oh my gosh, like that's amazing and I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah, the past ones are there too. Past ones are a little bit more expensive, so I mean it's great if you want to try one. Buy a past bead box that's there, and then if you like it, subscribe, and you'll get it for cheaper if you subscribe. Definitely pumpkins. Yeah, seed bead stash will grow quickly. I'm sorry, Anna and Jenni, which one are you? I'm Anna. I think that's what she means.
Is it?
Right? Which one?
I'm Jenni. Maybe.
She's Sylvia. I think
Candy.
that's what she means. That's Candy. That's Eva. That's Dee. Everybody raise your hand wherever you are at
Ava
home.
said Anna is the talkative one. She's the one that knows what she's doing.
Well, no one's ever called me the talkative one before. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us today. Like I said, they don't pay us to just sit here and bead all day, so we gotta go do some other things to make some other exciting things happen for you guys, so you have good stuff online. Thank you guys again for tuning in and watching us. Hopefully you got some really good ideas. Definitely, if you're not on Facebook, go to Facebook, ask to join. I will go back to my desk right now and approve you. Yeah, go ahead there.
I was going to go back to this one.
Yeah, and show us some designs that you've made. If you already get the best bead box, show us what you did with your stash items. Show us, even if you want to just take some stuff, put it together and take a picture of it and say, hey, anybody have any ideas? Like, I think these things would work well together. Yeah, that's what I do. And then I either will do like a some kind of like random peyote stitch, like freeform peyote, which I really love, or kind of bezel or whatever. So okay. I'm the talkative one. So thanks again. Thanks Anna and Jenni. Love catching these live. Doesn't happen too often. We're here pretty much same time every month. So put it on your calendar. Thanks again, and we will see you guys later.